Good, happy Sunday morning, November 8th, 2020. I'm Riley King, and welcome to the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. We have a lot of news to get to this Sunday morning, so let's begin. First up, AP. Biden wins presidency, vows to work hard for all Americans. Let's take a look at this video.
For the easy and the complex, the small stuff and the big, we're here with the affordable local loans, easy to manage accounts, and financial advice to help you blaze a trail, figure stuff out, and make your money go farther. We're Granite State Credit Union. Live bold.
Okay, and there you go on that video. And now let's take a look at the COVID-19 updates. One new COVID-19 death, 230 new cases announced in New Hampshire on Saturday. Let's take a listen to this video.
For the easy and the complex, the small stuff and the big, we're here with the affordable local loans, easy to manage accounts, and financial advice to help you blaze a trail, figure stuff out, and make your money go farther. We're Granite State Credit Union. Live bold.
On the coronavirus front in New Hampshire, late this afternoon, the state announced 230 new cases, the third day in a row of more than 200 new cases. Nearly 1,800 cases are considered current tonight, the most since late May. One more death was announced. It was not related to a long-term care facility. Deaths in the state now total 489, and one more person has been hospitalized. Current hospitalizations are now at 49.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And now let's take a look at your coronavirus in New Hampshire important information. And here is a look at that for all of you right now. There are 241 number of people in New Hampshire have tested positive for COVID-19. There are 9,849,696 number of people in the United States who have tested positive. 489 number of deaths from COVID-19 in New Hampshire. 791 number of people have been hospitalized with COVID-19 in New Hampshire. And 17 number of deaths from COVID-19 in the United States. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where current cases of COVID-19 are. In Manchester, 124. Let's take a look at this map of New Hampshire where total cases of COVID-19 are. Manchester, 25, 15. Now let's take a look at these three charts here. Let's start with the first chart here. New cases each day in New Hampshire in the purple. Daily new positive COVID-19 cases. In orange, new hospitalization. In red, deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Current cases in the purple. Total current COVID-19 cases. And in orange, current hospitalization. Let's take a look at this chart here. Total cases in the purple. Total positive COVID-19 cases. In orange, total hospitalization. Red, deaths. And blue, recovered. And let's take a look at this chart here. Positive PCR test rate and daily PCR test. And let's take a look at this chart here. Age group of cases, female and male of cases, and risk information. Let's take a look at this chart here. Infections, hospitalizations, and deaths. Let's take a look at this chart here. Deaths, percent of New Hampshire population, race/ethnicity of cases, and hospitalizations. Let's take a look at this chart here. Your common symptoms: fever, lack of smell, cough, chills, difficult breathing, nausea, vomiting, and diarrhea. How it spreads, and prevention tips. And be sure to stay with the Riley King Network for the latest of your COVID-19 information. Analysts, how Biden's path to 270 ended in Pennsylvania. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
Chapel Tractor has been in our family since 1955, when great-grandfather Pearlie and our grandfather George decided...
Let's take a step back and return to February of this year, the first-in-the-nation primary. Joe Biden comes in fifth here. It's a body blow to his campaign, one he, to his credit, predicted, but that was a low point for him. Blown out by Bernie Sanders, surpassed by Pete Buttigieg and Amy Klobuchar with moderate voters, he was definitely on the ropes. There were a lot of people who thought it was only a matter of time before he would have to drop out of the race altogether. But then he comes in second in Nevada and scores a big victory in South Carolina, getting validation from a key Democratic constituency, African-American voters, and after that, he was on his way. In terms of how this unfolded over the last few days, as we've been explaining, this was all just a matter of time and math in terms of the vote count. Let's talk specifically about Pennsylvania, the Commonwealth that put Biden over the top. All of the decisive ballots were in on election night. The in-person votes were counted first. Those were largely Republican, and they favored President Donald Trump. But the mail-in, absentee, and early vote was largely Democratic, favoring Joe Biden. And those had to be counted after the in-person voting was done. So that took time, and the race was close, but the trend line always favored Biden. With 20 electoral votes, Pennsylvania was decisive, but then Biden added Nevada. He could still add either Arizona or Georgia, but at this point, that is academic. Important to note, the president and his allies have alleged a widespread, multi-state voter and election fraud operation on behalf of the Biden campaign. So far, there has been no evidence of that. And in Pennsylvania, where the Trump campaign is focusing its accusations on urban areas like Philadelphia, Biden actually underperformed Hillary Clinton there in Philadelphia, and Trump did better than last time. Biden picked up support in rural and suburban areas of Pennsylvania, about 2% consistently around the Commonwealth. When you have millions of votes cast, if there are irregularities, you would see something out of whack in one county or another. And that's not the case at the moment in Pennsylvania. Adam Sexton, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. Good information there. Biden ties to New Hampshire date back to the 1980s, continued during his days as VP. Biden projected as the winner of the 2020 presidential election. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Adam Sexton.
It's the official tractor of Tough Cab Month at Mahindra. Get great deals on all cab tractors.
Joe Biden is the projected president-elect of the United States of America. It's a title he's sought for a long time. As a three-term U.S. senator back in the 80s, he came to New Hampshire for a shot at the White House. His campaign faltered, but he made lasting relationships here.
The system is tough, I'm tough, and I'll be back.
He did come back to run again, but in the 2008 primary, he also came up short. While he didn't make it to the finish line, he did get the nod as Barack Obama's running mate, and he became the administration point man for New Hampshire, making regular visits here to advance the president's agenda.
I am an old hand at this, I tell you what. This time I got the right guy. Last time it was me.
The 2020 First in the Nation primary was not easy on Biden, but his message here never wavered.
This election is bigger than any you've been engaged in. Not because I'm running or anybody else is running, because who occupies the office. This election is, quite frankly, bigger than politics.
He started in the unenviable position of frontrunner, and the polls showed him holding on to that lead for months before other candidates began jockeying for a greater share of support. It's hard to say exactly why Biden's candidacy faded in popularity with first-in-the-nation voters. Attendance at his events was never huge like Bernie Sanders or Donald Trump, but one thing he did do at every stop was connect with people on a personal level. He would end his speech, and anyone who wanted to come up for a picture or a hug or a minute of one-on-one time would get it, and he invested far more in this personal interaction than most other top-tier candidates.
Try to demonstrate, remind people who I am.
Ultimately, Biden got clobbered in Iowa and knew what was coming in New Hampshire. Uncharacteristically for any politician, he acknowledged his precarious position right off the top of the ABC WMUR debate before the primary.
I took a hit in Iowa, and I'll probably take a hit here.
He may have lost here in February, but he won what might have been the most important New Hampshire moment of the primary cycle, his connection with Braden Harrington, a young Granite Stater who, like Biden, struggles with stuttering, became one of the enduring campaign stories of the empathy and humanity of the president-elect. And a lot of political observers believe it was those kind of stories, the one-on-one interactions and the connections and the relationships that carried the day for Biden here in the Granite State, which wasn't as close as a lot of the other swing states. Adam Sexton, WMUR, News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And New Hampshire's 4 Democrat congressional delegation members pledge to work with Biden. Let's take a listen to that video right now from WMUR News 9.
For the easy and the complex, the small stuff and the big, we're here with the affordable local loans, easy to manage accounts, and financial advice to help you blaze a trail, figure stuff out, and make your money go farther. We're Granite State Credit Union. Live bold.
Congratulations have been coming in from New Hampshire's congressional delegation following the announcement that Joe Biden will be the next president of the United States.
WMUR political director Adam Sexton is back now with a look at what they're saying about a Biden-Harris administration.
Well, Jen and Tom, 3 of the 4 members of the delegation are newly elected Democrats, and this will now be a chance for them to work with a Democratic presidential administration in D.C. Congress in a slim majority. The Senate, who knows? That's still up for grabs. Let's start with Senator Jeanne Shaheen, who just celebrated her own win over her Republican challenger earlier this week. Shaheen saying a little while ago, quote, "We need to heal the deep divisions in our country, and I know President Biden will tirelessly work to unite all Americans. There is so much work that needs to be done that necessitates bipartisan cooperation." New Hampshire's other senator, Maggie Hassan, who was elected in 2016 and has only been in Washington while President Trump has been in office, she said, quote, "I want to offer a big congratulations to President-elect Joe Biden and Vice President-elect Kamala Harris on their historic election. I also want to note how fitting it is that 100 years after women won the fight for suffrage, we finally have a woman vice president of the United States of America." Representative Chris Pappas from New Hampshire's 1st Congressional District, who just won his 2nd term, says, quote, "Our country needs to unite with common purpose, and I am confident that these 2 leaders can bring Americans together and move us forward." And finally, Representative Andy Custer of New Hampshire's 2nd District commented, quote, "We have pushed through 4 long years of division, and it is time for us to come together as Americans to rebuild our nation and pave a better path forward. I know there will be those out there who are disappointed in this result, but I urge all Americans to focus on what unites us."
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And, on the Republican side in New Hampshire, they said different things. The New Hampshire Republicans say challenges must be resolved before accepting Biden as winner. The Trump campaign co-chair in New Hampshire says to count every legal ballot. Let's take a listen to that video from WMUR News 9, Siobhan Lopez.
Hey, Paul here, owner of Century Roofing. I personally wish to thank the thousands of our customers for supporting our team.
Trump supporters gather outside the New Hampshire State House Saturday afternoon for a planned rally. People waved flags and held signs that read, "Stop the Steal." Officials with the Trump campaign in New Hampshire say the message right now is patience.
The message is counting every legal ballot. It's to see the process, the democratic process, through to its end. I think there's some substantial issues that need to be addressed. I believe some legal challenges, specifically in Pennsylvania, that need to be addressed.
Campaign co-chair State Rep Fred Doucette says it's important to note that 70 million Americans voted to keep Donald Trump in the White House.
Right now, they're feeling kind of disenfranchised. The transparency of what's been going on with this count that's been going on for 4 days. And all we want is, to see that every legal ballot is counted, and there's transparency in that, and that the election is called on the merits of the vote.
New Hampshire Republican Party Chairman Steve Stepanak released a statement that says, in part, as the votes continue to be counted across the nation, we in New Hampshire will continue to build upon our electoral successes, and we will continue to fight for New Hampshire, just as Republicans always have.
Now, once all of the votes are counted and these legal challenges are seen through, Doucette says everyone should respect the outcome. Reporting live, Siobhan Lopez, WMUR News 9.
Okay, and there you go on that video and that report. And that does it for this morning edition of the Riley King Newscast, right here on the Riley King Network. I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and I'll see you back here later on today for another newscast. I'll have a news report coming up in a little bit. Goodbye, everyone.